Hey yo YouTube, I am here to continue talking about my D&D game. Last I left off, we were about to talk to the medicine cat. Um, he comes out. He tells us that they have somewhat lost connection with Star Clan, Star Pride, and uh, and I asked him if their clan leader has been getting granted 9 lives, and they say no. They tell us no. Pretty much, we tell them that if our mission is successful and we gather all the Wemmicks to form the Wemmick Kingdom, we'll get in contact, and their chief leader, the Star, will get 9 lives again. They end up saying that they're gonna go dreamwalk on it and try and talk to the other medicine cats. Um, so we end up taking camp in the kind of area that we're in. The next morning, he comes out and confirms or says that there's enough evidence that like they're unsure about it, but there's enough evidence that they decide to go through it, and they agree to help take the Waygate with us, which apparently I got wrong a few videos ago. I called it a key gate. I even put it in the title. Apparently, it's the Waygate. Uh, so we travel back to the tribe that calls themselves the First People, and we tell them that the Wemmicks agreed. I want to say we camped out. We camped out that night again, and then the next day traveled to where the Waygate was. Um, when we get there, there's the 2 hallways, and when we're traveling through the first one, a bunch of crossbowmen appear and shoot down at us. Um, my character ends up jumping up on the wall that they're on and like corners one, and for the first time, one of them like pulls out a weapon because he didn't have that 5 feet with missile weapons. Besides that, I don't remember anything significant. I know after a while I pull my bow out and start shooting uh, at the ones way across. And and after we clear off that mob, we go into the next room, which has all the doors where the Abbas were last time. And we check the latches, and sure enough, there's Abbas in there. Um, Nina gets the idea that Rawright should like jam the door instead of picking it. So if there's like a lever or something like last time, it won't open. Um, he's successful at it, but right when he gets done doing it, all the doors open up again, and Abba start coming out, and this time there's 2 big ones. So start fighting the mob again. This I don't remember anything significant in this fight. Um, yeah, knock them all out or kill all of them, and then we move into the room where the Waygate is. Whenever we open the door, I want to say Rawright picks it again. I remember the player like checked it for traps, and then the DM said, "You think there's no traps?" And the player took that. I was like, "Well, then there's probably traps." And he doesn't risk it. One thing that did happen in that fight was Nina did a spell where she got one of the big Abbas to under her control, so we end up setting the big Abba through. Um, well, not the door wasn't trapped, so we get through it, and on the other side there's a bunch of crossbowmen, and in the middle there's a Wemmick, and there's a big Abba that are just standing there. Um, my character ends up shooting at one of the crossbowmen because I'm unsure about at least the Wemmick standing there. Um, the Wemmick ends up shooting at me. Like it shoots past like one of the Wimmicks and shoots at me. Um, eventually I push forward a little bit, and it comes running right at me. The DM makes me do intelligence check, and he says it moves kind of weird. So I'm like, okay, it's not a warrior, and I even say that. I say, you are no warrior. And then I go into, because like I was holding off my rage, so I use it now. And then there also was like, I want to say he popped up later, but eventually there ended up being like an older man who was some kind of alchemist. Um, Whenever, I want to say the big Abba died first. Whenever he died, he like melted or like turned into like foam or something, and the same thing happens to the Wemmick whenever I kill him. The crossbowman got dropped pretty easy. It takes us a little bit to get like the last person there is the alchemist. Like I know for a while him and Nina are going back and forth on spells. Um, so after we clear out that mob, we get back with the Wemmicks and the first people. Uh, I want to say they're the ones that find like a passage at the areas we're in, and it leads to pretty much where they were fighting, and uh, they tell us like we end up going to a room where there's a bunch of cages, and they tell us that in the middle of the fight, uh, one of the one of these people must have pulled one of their levers, and it opened up the Abbas, and and the Abbas just started attacking everything. Um, the scientists like people crossbowmen and the Wemmicks and First People. Um, they also say that there was a group of them that ran down a hallway, and it ends up just leading into a room with like a circle on the ground. Um, as a player, I'm like, all right, that's either an elevator or a teleporter. Um, I end up calling Nina back here, and she confirms that it's some kind of teleporter because Onyx wouldn't know nothing about that. And in one of the cages is a female Abba that ends up being one of the intelligent ones. Nina ends up doing telekinesis with it and talks to it, and it calls her it calls themselves the True. It's called, and it says we're tainted or something like that. So something to that point, and and Nina starts trying to negotiate with it, and it's not having none of it. It's like you attacked us, and Nina's like, well, we attacked you because these people opened the cage, stuff like that, and it doesn't care. Um, Eventually, she drops it, and we end up camping near the Waygate, and Nina has one of her visions on how to open the door, or on a code for the panel. She gets up and tries it, and the Waygate opens up, and and we decide that we want to test going through it, but then at the same time we're like, let's make sure we got everything. Or I think my character brings it up, like, let's get the Wemmicks we need to get, because we still haven't figured out who's coming with us from ThunderClan. And then after we get them, I also bring up, because like a session goes by between this, I also bring up that we should get the two people who aren't native in here. One is like a Indian girl, and another one I think is like a Frenchman. And we go through. It ends up leading us back to New Loran. Um, we we meet up with the wise ones. We tell them what's going on, or what just happened. Like I tell them that if those two that you said are supposed to be harder, then I'm worried about what those are going to be like, because this one was harder from the moment the mission started. And then they asked like what happened. Like Nina asked, "Do should we tell them that you died?" and I tell her that in women cultures it's kind of taboo to let someone know what life you're on. So I kind of leave that out, but I pretty much tell them everything else. Um, they want to eventually they want to they also we find out that whenever they pulled the lever, the barrier that was holding the abbas went down, so a group of abbas got loose. So now they're in this they're set free in the wild, because before they were held off by this barrier in the Wemmicks. So whenever Lunaland hears about that, they're kind of worried that like creatures from another dimension are in this world. So they want to find out if they can make a link in between both our door and the Waygate. So we end up going and testing it to see if we could travel back there. And I've been talking for almost 10 minutes, and that's where I'll leave off. You want to know what's going on, keep watching my videos. You want to know the full story, watch all the videos, and I will check you later.